Subscribe to this channel and like it, thank you. It was close to midnight when Daniel walked into the dimly lit kitchen, rubbing his eyes after finishing some leftover paperwork. The house was quiet except for the gentle clinking of dishes. At first, he thought he was imagining it, no one should have been awake at this hour. But as he got closer, he saw her again, Maya, the young woman he'd recently offered some temporary cleaning work. Her sleeves were rolled up, hair loosely tied, and she was quietly washing dishes as if afraid to disturb the silence. Daniel hesitated, unsure why she was still here, wondering if something was wrong or if she simply lost track of time again. Maya didn't notice him at first, she was too focused on scrubbing every plate until it shined. She moved slowly, carefully, as though trying not to break anything nor leave even a streak behind. Daniel observed the weariness in her posture, the slump of someone who hadn't slept well in days. He had noticed the same exhaustion often, ever since the afternoon she accepted work at his house. She had said very little about her situation, only that she needed money and a safe place to spend her evenings before returning home. But her voice had trembled when she said, "Home," and Daniel had pretended not to notice. "Why are you still here?" he finally asked softly, not wanting to frighten her. Maya startled, dropping the sponge into the soapy water and turning with wide, apologetic eyes. She clutched her hands nervously. I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't finish the dishes earlier. I thought I should do them now since you and your son went to sleep. I didn't want to leave a mess." Her voice cracked at the end, and Daniel felt something twist inside him, sensing that her reason held more weight than just dishes left undone. Before he could respond, small footsteps padded into the kitchen. His 8-year-old son, Liam, appeared rubbing his eyes, holding his stuffed dinosaur by the tail. He looked between his father and Maya with innocent curiosity. "Daddy," he said in that half-asleep voice children had, "she's still here." The boy wasn't confused, just surprised. Maya flushed with embarrassment, lowering her head as if she had done something wrong. Daniel placed a gentle hand on Liam's shoulder, unsure how to explain her presence without exposing what she wasn't ready to share. Liam moved closer to her and tugged lightly on her sleeve. "You should sleep," he said simply. "It's not good to stay up so late." His innocent concern brought tears to Maya's eyes, though she quickly blinked them away. Daniel saw it, saw how she used the dishes, the laundry, any task she could find, as an excuse to stay in a place where she felt safe. A heaviness settled over him, a realization that she wasn't staying late because of work, but because she had nowhere she truly felt welcome enough to return to. "Maya," Daniel said gently, "you don't have to finish everything in one day. We appreciate your help, but this, staying so late, it's not healthy." She shook her head quickly, stepping back as if he'd scolded her. "I'm sorry. I won't stay next time. I couldn't go back yet." Her voice wavered as she glanced toward the floor. Liam blinked up at her, confused. "Why? Is your house scary?" he asked. Daniel opened his mouth to shush him, but Maya surprised them both by giving a small, sad smile. "It's not scary," she whispered. "It's just lonely." Her answer lingered in the room, heavy and honest. Daniel felt something tighten in his chest as he realized she wasn't just seeking shelter, she was seeking presence, warmth, connection. He noticed then how she looked around the house with longing whenever she thought no one was watching. She wasn't intruding, she was yearning. Liam walked closer and wrapped his small arms around her waist. The gesture broke whatever restraint she had left, and a tear rolled down her cheek. "Maya," Daniel said, keeping his voice steady, "you're welcome here, but not as someone who has to work just to exist in this space. If you need help, I'd rather you tell me." She shook her head gently. "I don't want to be a burden." Daniel sighed softly. "You're not. If anything, I'm worried you're pushing yourself too hard." She looked at the floor, twisting her fingers. "I didn't mean to cause trouble," she mumbled. Liam tugged her hand again. "You didn't," he insisted. "You wash dishes nicer than Daddy does." Her laugh was small but real. Daniel smiled too, relieved to see a bit of light break through her exhaustion. He stepped closer and offered a chair. "Sit for a minute," he said. "We're not sending you out into the cold night." She hesitated before lowering herself onto the chair, hands resting on her lap. Liam climbed onto the seat beside her, leaning against her arm without hesitation. She froze at first, then slowly relaxed, letting him rest there. Daniel noticed the way she softened, like someone remembering what comfort felt like. "Do you live alone?" he asked gently. She nodded. "Yes. It used to be different, but things changed." She didn't elaborate, and he didn't push. The tremor in her voice was enough to tell him that whatever drove her to stay late washing dishes was more than hardship, it was heartbreak. Liam looked up. "If you're alone, you can stay here sometimes. Daddy makes pancakes in the morning." Daniel blushed slightly. "Not every morning," he corrected. But Maya's smile widened, touched by the sincerity of the offer. She took a deep breath and finally admitted in a shaky whisper, "I don't like going back to the room I rent. It's always dark, loud, unsafe, and I never feel like I belong anywhere." Daniel felt a surge of protectiveness. She wasn't asking for pity, just voicing a truth she'd carried alone for too long. "You're allowed to feel safe," he said. "And you don't owe anyone an explanation for wanting that." Maya blinked rapidly as though surprised someone would say something so simple, yet so foreign to her. They talked quietly as the clock ticked past midnight, the house warm and illuminated only by the soft kitchen light. Maya shared bits of her story, losing her job, losing her apartment, taking whatever work she could find. Daniel listened with patience and empathy, not once interrupting or judging. Liam leaned against Maya, slowly drifting back toward sleep, still holding her hand. The connection forming between the three of them felt fragile yet meaningful, something unexpected but somehow natural. "Maya," Daniel said after a thoughtful pause, "you can stay in the guest room tonight. No payment, no conditions. Just rest." Her eyes widened in disbelief. I can't take your room," she murmured. "It's too much." Daniel shook his head firmly. "What's too much is expecting you to walk back alone at night. You deserve rest as much as anyone." She covered her mouth with her hand as silent tears fell. Liam leaned up sleepily and whispered, "See. Daddy says it's okay." Slowly, she stood from the chair, still trembling. "Thank you," she said softly. "I don't know how to repay this." Daniel smiled. "Start by letting yourself be safe for one night." He guided her toward the hallway while Liam followed, half asleep and insisting on showing her where the guest room was. Maya paused at the door, running her fingers gently over the blanket, as if she couldn't believe something so simple could feel so comforting. She looked back at them with gratitude shining in her eyes. As she finally lay down, Liam tugged Daniel's sleeve and whispered, "Daddy, she needed us." Daniel nodded, watching Maya settle under the covers. He realized then that kindness didn't always mean grand gestures, sometimes it was offering someone a place where they didn't feel forgotten. Before turning off the light, Maya whispered, "For the first time in months, I feel safe." Daniel closed the door quietly, knowing this moment might be the beginning, not just of her healing, but of something deeper for all of them. Please tell me how you liked the story in the comments. Thank you.